Hey guys, Saturday update. Tony George, DocSports.com. Not in a good mood today at all. Foul mood, as a matter of fact. This is when it sucks when you wear your heart on the sleeve, but you tell it like it is. We got the door shut out on us at college pro basketball yesterday. On a day that saw Purdue, Virginia, North Carolina, Kansas State, VCU, Marquette, Nevada, and even Arizona State go down. Some of the most elite teams in the country. Gonzaga's already went down. Virginia was never in that ball game against Florida State. Now they're catching 8 against Duke. I mean, Florida State beat them wire to wire. Uh, Anybody see that coming? I'm telling you, college basketball is an absolute from the penthouse to the outhouse. 3-0 day on Thursday and a game of the year cation, and then yesterday skunked and a rare 0-2 day in the NBA. I can't remember when I went 0-2 in the NBA. I mean, I literally cannot remember. It's been months. We had a bad day in the NBA like that. So not in a good mood. Very foul mood, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to make it short and sweet today. We got a two-play card in college basketball, and St. Louis Davidson game and Florida Auburn game. Those are the two games I'm on. In the NBA, this would be a 6-unit top play today if I wouldn't have lost yesterday. I'm going to keep it prudent. It's a 4-unit play. We have only had 2 back-to-back losing cards since late December. So expect a bounce back. Okay? And the good news front, UFC card today. 5 plays, goes off at 1 Eastern. UFC in London. So it's early. 1 o'clock. Got a 6-unit top play on a 5-pick fight card. Went 3-0 undefeated last week. Won over a $100 player. Won over $1,100. And I have one of the best UFC guys anywhere on the planet. These write-ups are extremely detailed. You'll see the work that goes into, you know, the mind of a madman, I call him, because he can nail these things. I've sat with him in sports books watching these UFC fights and just take this guy and just one money hand over fist. I go, you got to come to work for me. Well, he's working for me now. He's working for you. Go get a fight card, 6-unit top play. Let's get it done. Let's go ahead and get to your free play. Kansas first half line was the official free play yesterday. They did cover that. Talked about a couple of leans, and they didn't pan out. This is a very dangerous day today. I cannot stress that enough. It's not a cop-out. There is so much parity in college basketball right now. It's very, very. Anybody winning 58% or better for the season needs to be seated and given the Medal of Honor because it is very tough. You have to tiptoe through the tulip slightly. That's why I've only got 2 plays there. I expect to bounce back. There's some games we talked about at great length. Myself and my staff looked real hard at Nova. -4 over Seton Hall. Looked real hard at Wisconsin. My boys. Held Hap to 4 points yesterday. You think he's going to have 4 points against Michigan State today? Doubt it. Bet he has a shitload more. But you want to fade Tom Izzo in a semi-championship game in March in a tournament? You really want to? Huh. Can't do it. Iowa State, Kansas, coin flip. People asked me in DM Twitter already last night. A bunch of messages. What do you think about Big 12? What do you think about Big 12? We know you know the Big 12. You know, you won Game of the Year, K-State, your free play won. You're dialed in. Well, I'm not dialed in when it comes to this game, for sure. Coin flip ball game. Who's going to have a better shooting percentage? Who's going to make 1 or 2 more free throws? It's going to come right down the wire. Iowa State travels well. What's that? 3 hours from campus. Kansas is 40 minutes from campus. I've told you a million times, Iowa State will fill that place up. So will KU. Won't be a totally partisan crowd for Kansas by any stretch. There's no value in the side play. I can't tell you who's going to win. If Iowa State's hitting 3 points, Kansas won't beat them. If Iowa State's knocking down shots from 3-point range, Kansas cannot beat them, in my opinion. But that's a big if. Their offense was awesome against Baylor, and they struggled against Kansas State, which they should have because Kansas State has a great defense. But it's, one thing about Kansas is they've had a no sweat winners coming in here. They played Texas, which is below average, and West Virginia, who was trying to do a Cinderella thing, which was never going to happen. That's why we took the first half line with Kansas yesterday. So I can't give you an opinion in that game. One game I can give you an opinion on real quick, and that'll be the SEC semifinal. I am personally on the Florida and Auburn game, but this game here, you know, Texas ran Rick Barnes out of town on a rail car because he couldn't win a big game when it counted. He could not win a game as a head coach when it's counted, and he really hasn't since then. You know, the added stickiness to this opinion is that Kentucky, after they pounded Tennessee by 17 at home, went on the road back on the 2nd of this month and got their ass handed to them, 71-52, shot 31%, had 16 turnovers, and lost at Tennessee. They split the regular season. At the end of the day, there's certain coaches in March you don't want to get in front of, you know, and you know they're the who's who. Tom Izzo, you know, Krzyzewski, you know, it's a bunch of good coaches in March, you know. Marshall down at Wichita State, look what they did yesterday, and John Calipari, it's a March coach. He wins big games when they count, and he advances in tournaments. He's been doing it since he was at Memphis and UMass, and I'm telling you, he's been doing it forever. And Rick Barnes can't coach his wet paper sack if it gets tight. I'll take Kentucky minus the 1.5 today against Tennessee for your free play. I'll be back at you on Sunday. And yes, we are having a race card. The race card in NASCAR, which we've been kicking ass in, will be out tomorrow morning. Auto Club 400 from Fontana, California. We'll have a fight card out by 8 a.m. Pacific. Have a great Saturday.